You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A Plymouth man accused of planning to kill his ex-girlfriend is attempting to dismiss the case. 41-year-old Clayton Knorr allegedly orchestrated a murder plot with another person to kill his ex-girlfriend in order to prevent her from testifying against him at a domestic abuse court proceeding. The scheme involved crashing her vehicle to make it look like she passed out from a heroin overdose, and investigators received word about it back in September. Troopers later found him in possession of a vial containing liquid he claimed was crushed up sleeping pills and water. Knorr's attorney filed a habeas corpus petition Thursday, arguing a lack of evidence to support the charges and that prosecutors failed to establish a case against Knorr. Knorr's facing criminal attempt to commit homicide, criminal attempt to retaliate against a witness, criminal solicitation to commit homicide, and possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance. He remains jailed without bail in Luzerne County, with a trial date set for the end of June. An elderly woman was rescued from an early morning fire in Schuylkill County thanks to a dog. Crews were called to 117 2nd Street in Oneida around 5 this morning to battle a house fire. An elderly woman who lived in the right side of the half-double was rescued by family members living nearby after their dog was able to alert them. The left was reportedly undergoing renovations for a family set to move in soon. Everyone made it out okay, and no injuries were reported, but the homes were deemed a total loss. A state police fire marshal was called into the scene to determine the cause of that early morning fire in Oneida. State police in Hazleton recovered 2 guns and found drugs during a traffic stop that resulted in an arrest. Officers observed a white 2022 Toyota Camry on North Church Street in the early morning on Monday, June 6th, driving on the solid yellow line. They then followed the driver for 7 blocks as they saw the driver nearly hit another vehicle and take out 2 others. A traffic stop was initiated and found 20-year-old Brian Tejeda Rodriguez of Massachusetts under the influence of alcohol. After a search of the vehicle, police found 2 loaded guns, a bag of suspected marijuana and other forms of it, 19 pills stamped M30, and 87 oval blue pills stamped K9. Tejeda Rodriguez faces multiple felonies and misdemeanors and was denied bail after being deemed a danger to society. 5 years ago, the sale and use of fireworks in the state were eased. Now, as complaints continue to grow, new limits on fireworks are being proposed and are moving forward in the state legislature. State House members voted to approve legislation to restrict their use, and there would be greater penalties for improper sales or illegal use. The restrictions would allow use from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., except July 2nd through 4th and December 31st, when they'd be allowed until 1 a.m. Local municipalities would also get more explicit authority to ban their use if they feel there is no place to use them safely. The bill now goes on to the Senate for consideration. A business made its way to the Hazleton area and now has a new home. WYLN's Mackenzie Yocker has the details.
A ribbon cutting was held this morning at the Can-Be Innovation Center located in the Valmont Industrial Park in West Hazleton. Northeastern Pennsylvania Industrial Resource Center, who is headquartered in Hanover Township, now has an office located right here in Hazleton.
NEPRC's been in existence going back to 1988. We've been servicing the lower Luzerne and Columbia County since then, but today is going to be the first time that we actually become part of its community. We're a service organization that we consult for manufacturers.
NEPRC was one of the few businesses not affected by the pandemic and remained opened throughout it. The business has been in existence for over 30 years, and this is their first satellite office that they've opened.
We had to show the manufacturing community that we were there by their side to support them throughout this pandemic, throughout our region. So today is the first step in that endeavor.
Numerous manufacturers are also located in the Valmont Industrial Park. By putting an office in Hazleton, they will be able to reach out and connect with new clients.
We feel that this investment into their community is exactly what we needed to do to advance our work in the Hazleton area.
NEPRC will also benefit the Humboldt Industrial Park, and they plan to open offices in Bradford and Monroe counties.
We believe that it's just a matter of showing that the manufacturing community that we're here to support them.
Drew Mackey, NEPRC Executive Vice President and CFO, would like to thank the staff for working hard and tirelessly during the pandemic. Reporting in West Hazleton for Wyln News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thanks, Mackenzie. The Luzerne County Convention Center Authority will pay hefty fees over its policy on protest outside of Mohegan Sun Arena. An animal rights activist and the nonprofit Last Chance for Animals filed a suit in 2016 after a controversial protest took place outside the arena during a performance by Ringling Bros and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Animal rights activists remained behind barricaded as they protested the alleged mistreatment of circus animals that included elephants. The suit claims the authority went against the plaintiffs' rights to freedom of speech by forcing protesters to stay behind barricades and to not mingle with people who made their way into the area to see the circus. Through negotiations, the parties agreed to the authority paying $65,000. A proposal was made to place 252 apartments with 400 parking spaces near the Valley Regional Fire and Rescue Station on Butler Drive. During Tuesday's meeting, Butler West Partners gave a drawing to the Township Planning Commission displaying 9 buildings. According to the drawing, the apartments would be west of the fire station and south of properties that front West Butler Drive. Butler West Partners is the newest developer to propose building more housing in the Hazleton area. They also plan to build up to 30 million square feet of warehousing and industrial space. Along with that, they'll consider adding apartments to the Traders Bank building and the Hotel Altamont in downtown Hazleton. Coming up on Wyln News, details on Pierogi Fest, city fireworks, and tomorrow's hill climb, plus your favorite furry friends of the week. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
In the forecast and a little bit of sunny, but we hope it's gonna be more better. So bye, sign off for the weather.
We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing. backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
The two-day Edwardsville Pierogi Festival began today at noon. Organizers say there are over 85 food and non-food vendors and entertainment, and tomorrow will run from 10 to 10. There will be a parade at 11 a.m. and a pierogi cook-off contest at 2. It's all happening in the John Hopkins Memorial Park at Main and Zerby in Edwardsville, so be sure to check it out. The City of Hazleton's Recreation Department will hold its Independence Day celebration on Saturday, July 2nd at City View Park on South Poplar Street. Park gates open at 4, and a fireworks display will begin around 9:45. The event will feature games, food trucks, and entertainment that includes performances by Chris Pavlik with Sounds of Sinatra at 6, and 70s Flashback Band at 8. Handicap-accessible bus service will be available to and from the event between 5 and 11. Riders can flag down a bus along the route, which can be found online. Otherwise, parking will be available at no cost to people who want to drive to the event. Guests can also bring blankets, chairs, and any other items to make the event memorable. There's no time like the present to adopt a pet, and the SPCA of Luzerne County has more breeds, shapes, and sizes of furry friends for you to check out this week. Everyone meet Blue. This female 1.5-year-old retriever lab Siberian Husky mix was surrendered recently due to the owner no longer being able to keep her. This pretty girl's independent and likes to do her own thing. And up next is Iggy. This adult male tabby's got the softest coat. He's friendly, enjoys attention, and may even like other kitties. Call 570-825-4111 to come on down and check out these featured pets and more. You may just meet your new best friend and give them a well-deserved forever home. Our Wyln sports crew is gearing up for one of our favorite weekends of the year. The borough of Weatherly will kick off its 61st annual Spring Hill Climb this weekend. Racers will be making the trek from all over to head up the mountain this Saturday and Sunday, June 11th and 12th. And as tradition has it, Wyln will broadcast live from Hill Street tomorrow from 10:30 to 4:30. So rev up those engines and tune in for all the live local action right here on Wyln TV. Coming up on Elysburg's News Choice, your Week in Review, plus leading the way into this week's final segment. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on Wyln TV.
Hey, Dr. Alex here with another Feel Good Friday. Here to talk to you today about gratitude and about commitment. First, with gratitude, my daughter's teaching me gratitude. She's adorable. When I come home, she greets me at the door. She should be taking this for granted, but she greets me at the door with a thank you. And whenever I just do normal dad things, she says thank you. She's constantly saying thank you for everything nice that happens to her every day. Nice message for me. And for everyone to not take things for granted and to show gratitude whenever you can, to feel gratitude. The next thing is commitment. I remember having terrible anxiety before I proposed to my now wife. That burden of responsibility without a commitment is terrifying. So embrace your commitments, embrace responsibility, and that'll give you meaning and purpose and help you to feel good.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from J Zapata. You remember this old monster? Well, we're moving into a building. It's a big restaurant. Come and check us out. This is what we had on our menu. Regular burrito. We have the taco americano. Let's go with the Mexicans. They don't have a sombrero, but there you go. Corn tortilla, gluten-free. This is the birria tacos. Enchiladas. Nachos. Flan. 3 leches. That is right. Come at 620 Hillside Drive, grand opening of J Zapata Mexican Restaurant. Whoop, whoop.
Once again, it's time for the Weatherly Hill Climb. Watch it live Saturday, June 11th, starting at 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Wyln TV 35. We're your local network.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. West Hazelton. 570-454-7229.
Things have changed for all of us, but luckily the Pocono Mountains and everything it has to offer is still here. Just climb our mountains, get lost in our forests and trails, or stroll along our shores. Even try our light and sunny breezes. It's the best way to rejuvenate yourself, and it's older than, well, the hills. We've always been here. You and your family's safety is our first priority, and it always will be. Feel the comfort again when you visit the Pocono Mountains. Find us at PoconoMountains.com.
All right, come join us later for Let's Talk Chiropractic, where we're going to show what a laser does for our patients. Stay tuned.
Monday. Philadelphia was among the latest U.S. cities dealing with a deadly mass shooting over the weekend. 3 were killed and 11 others injured when gunfire rang out around 11:30 Saturday night in one of the city's most popular entertainment and tourist districts. The chaos reportedly began with a violent disagreement turned fistfight that escalated when one of the fatal victims, 34-year-old Gregory Japan Jackson, fired the first shot that critically struck 23-year-old Micah Towns, who fatally fired back in self-defense, totaling 17 shots fired between the two. That brawl sparked other gunmen to begin firing into nearby crowds. Identities of the 2 other fatal victims include 27-year-old Alexis Quinn and 22-year-old Chris Minners. Police announced the arrests of 2 suspects Monday for their alleged roles in the South Street shooting. 34-year-old Rashawn Vereen was charged with attempted murder among offenses in relation to Towns, while 18-year-old Karan Gardner was charged with aggravated assault on law enforcement, and firing a ghost gun with an extended magazine into a crowd, among others. Then on Thursday, 2 18-year-olds were taken into custody by U.S. Marshals in Virginia and won't be given bail once they're extradited back to Philly to face murder charges. Kadir Dukes Hill is charged in the death of Quinn, while Najee Whittington is accused in the death of Minners. Police still urge anyone who may have seen what happened to come forward. Tuesday. Police shut down an area of Jumper Road in Plains Township for several hours Tuesday afternoon. Turns out, a gunman barricaded inside his home led to an hours-long standoff. State and local police were called around 3 p.m. to a home in the East Mountain Ridge Mobile Home Park for a man barricaded inside the home. Police surrounded the home and spent several hours talking to a person inside with a loudspeaker, asking him to come out. It was learned that the man may have had weapons and explosions in the home, so that's when PSP CERT was called in. According to the Luzerne County District Attorney, the situation ended peacefully and the man was taken into custody around 7 p.m. Police later released information that a family member called for a mental health crisis of a man in his 80s. Officers say the man did not have any firearms inside the home, only crossbows and ammunition. No charges will be filed against the elderly man, who was then treated at a local hospital. Wednesday. Wilkes-Barre City Police were called out Tuesday night to a report of gunshots. Officers were called to the 100 block of Almond Lane around 9 p.m. after receiving reports that shots had been fired and found nearly 40 spent shell casings at the scene. There were no reports of injuries, but a nearby vehicle was damaged by a bullet. An investigation revealed that 2 males were involved in a dispute that ended in gunshots in the area of South Meade and Metcalf Streets before fleeing the area. The 2 male suspects, later identified as 19-year-old Frederick Colbett and Johnny Jones, both of Newark, New Jersey, were stopped by police, searched, and found to have drugs and guns. The pair claimed they went to a residence to make music at a recording studio, but took off when shots were being fired by 3 men who came from behind bushes. The investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is being asked to contact police at 570-208-4200. Thursday. A tractor-trailer caught fire along Interstate 81 late Wednesday night in Luzerne County. Firefighters and police responded to I-81 South just before the West Hazelton exit for a tractor-trailer that was fully engulfed in flames. The fire was eventually put out early Thursday morning, and the front portion of the truck was reported to be a complete loss. However, the back of the tractor-trailer suffered no damage, and the driver escaped without injury. The highway was restricted to one lane for roughly an hour and a half while crews worked to clean up the remnants of the fire, but there's still no word on how it started. Friday. A Plymouth man accused of planning to kill his ex-girlfriend is attempting to dismiss the case. 41-year-old Clayton Knorr allegedly orchestrated a murder plot with another person to kill his ex-girlfriend in order to prevent her from testifying against him at a domestic abuse court proceeding. The scheme involved crashing her vehicle to make it look like she passed out from a heroin overdose, and investigators received word about it back in September. Troopers later found him in possession of a vial containing liquid he claimed was crushed up sleeping pills and water. Knorr's attorney filed a habeas corpus petition this morning, arguing a lack of evidence to support the charges and that prosecutors failed to establish a case against Knorr. Knorr's facing criminal attempt to commit homicide, criminal attempt to retaliate against a witness, criminal solicitation to commit homicide, and possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance. He remains jailed without bail in Luzerne County, with a trial date set for the end of June. That's it for your week in review, here on WYLN News.
Abby is still perfecting her sidekick, and her jab is just for show. But for Abby, this is a remarkable day, because Abby recently defeated a real foe, cancer, when she partnered with Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital, a children's hospital close to home with more than 30 pediatric specialties. Take a bow, Abby. You deserve it. Lehigh Valley Riley Children's Hospital. Your health deserves a partner.
Only one company has been a lifetime committed to your safety. SUBARU. At Fairway Subaru in Hazleton, we're committed to you and providing the safest vehicles on the road for you and your family. Which is why Subarus come with available EyeSight driver assist technology, which can reduce the rate of rear-end crashes by up to 85%. And with lane assist and sway warning, your family will know why Subaru is a leading choice among parents and teen drivers. Discover more about Subaru and all there is to love about it at Fairway Subaru in Hazleton. The right car, the right price, the right dealer.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your ER partner.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Renai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Once again, it's time for the Weatherly Hill Climb. Watch it live Saturday, June 11th, starting at 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on WYLN TV 35. We're your local network.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Alan Stout's leading the way to wrap up this week's series.
Very sad to say that our week is coming to an end with Alan Stout. It has been my pleasure to take this journey with him from growing up, Wilkes-Barre, Kingston, college, education, writing term papers, Times leader, writing, doing all kinds of things, radio. Now the Luzerne County Visitors Bureau. What's next?
This might be my last stop. I don't know. I really do love what we do. I'm almost a year in. I started on July 9th. And so, I kind of understand how the Bureau works and what our job is and what our role is in the community. And I enjoy working with our staff. And, if I could steer this for, another 10 years or so, that might take me to to the finish line, as they say.
So what do you say now that you are in this position when you overhear someone that, oh, there's nothing to do in this area?
I mean, I don't think
you grab them by the collar?
No, but I hand them our visitors guide. I mean, I don't know if people realize this, but tourism in Luzerne County is it brings in like $1 billion a year. I mean, wow. between all the attractions and the casino and the concerts and the Ricketts Glen State Park. I mean, you ever been out there on a beautiful day in the summertime? Lake Jean.
Yeah.
So the Keystone State Games, which happen in Luzerne County in the middle of the summer every year, they bring in hundreds and hundreds of athletes. They stay in our hotels.
Right.
They eat in our restaurants. They go to our attractions. And so cumulatively, it all really adds up to a lot going on. And, there's something to be said for that, too. I had a buddy of mine from New York City, and we were talking once. He'd never been to the Empire State Building. He had never been to the Statue of Liberty.
Exactly.
He had never been to the UN or the Circle Line.
Right.
He just lived there, and so... sometimes that's just how it is. These little things that we take for granted, are right under your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Ricketts Glen or a walk along River Common. Kayaking down the Susquehanna is something I enjoy doing.
Wow.
I've done that with Riverfest a few times, and that's a beautiful experience. How many people in Luzerne County have done it?
And the other thing, speaking of river, we have to also mention that recently involved with Agnes, the movie.
Yes.
And again, history, our area, a lot of people don't even realize that even happened if they're new here.
We made the film, with that in mind. It's an educational tool. We want to take it out to schools next fall. There's a whole generation that heard about the flood. We don't even call it Agnes down in Wyoming Valley. It's just the flood.
The flood.
That's all everybody,
Yep.
And so these kids have heard about the flood from their grandparents, their parents, their whole life. So the film's going to show them the flood. They're going to see exactly what challenges they faced and how gallant they were at overcoming those challenges.
So then what does Alan Stout see once he's decided that he's seen enough? Retire happily?
Yeah. I mean, I think we all want a little bit of that at the end, but I get too bored. So, maybe that's when you write the book or something.
I knew he was going to say that. Alan, it has been my pleasure to have you here with us this week.
Paul, me too. And I have to tell your listeners this. About a year and a half ago, I filled in on WILK a couple times when John Webster retired. And
right.
I've known Nancy came in for a long time, so I filled in. And it was a thrill for me to hear you say, filling in for, and you said, I think I was in for Jason
Barsky. Right.
And you're filling in for Jason Barsky, Alan Stout. And I was like, whoa, I've officially made it. I've introduced my Paula Degman.
You made it a long time before that, let me tell you.
No, that was a legitimate thrill for me. So.
We're going to have Alan back again because I think there's a lot we missed. Thank you, and thank you for joining us on Leading the Way.
Thank you.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
You're watching WYLN